to work on.
And can you elaborate on the raw material availability in India with the backdrop of lithium discovery?
Okay, so the raw material availability, like just like this, lithium reserves have been found in
Mm-hmm.
Jammu and Kashmir recently. So before that, we India did not have any lithium resources, and because of which India had to rely on other countries to import either the raw material or the finished goods itself. For example, the cells. So uh, I believe a lot of economy or a lot of money was being siphoned out of the country to these other countries, and the economy was getting hampered with this recent discovery of lithium reserves. I believe in the next 2-3 years there would be good number of companies, good number of startups that would emerge out in the ecosystem, in the Indian ecosystem, which will have good amount of command to actually challenge all these imported cells, and good amount of technology gone behind this to ensure that whatever products that are being built in India with these lithium reserves will be at par or would be better than whatever are being imported from the outside, outside the country. So this would actually uh, contribute a lot to the economy of India, and for companies like us who are actually focused on building 100% made in India vehicles. Uh, it's a boon for us, and we are really happy that we might be able to uh, enjoy the locally made cells and locally made components out of these. And there are a couple of companies that are also working on semiconductor technologies in India. So I believe in the next 1.5 years, even the semiconductors, the battery packs, the cells, everything will be localized, and that would help companies like us, as well as the ecosystem, the entire society, and the entire economy of the country.
What is the landscape of batteries in India, and especially the lithium ion and the lead acid batteries? What is the scope for the new chemistries?
Okay. So I would say, from whatever we have been observing in the market, lithium ion is doing well, but I don't personally feel lithium ion is the future. It is just a stopgap arrangement right now. Lead acid batteries, they are done. I mean, I don't see any electric vehicles, at least say electric vehicle manufacturers who are building their vehicles ground up, who have actually done research and R&D, and spend good amount of time, money, resources in developing their vehicles. Those guys would not definitely rely on lead acid battery packs. There are other couple of players. Definitely there will be players who will again rely on importing the vehicles from countries like China, and then rebranding, rebadging these vehicles and selling. So these guys are actually taking advantage of the lack of knowledge of the customer right now about the battery chemistry. So which is where lead acid battery packs are being consumed right now, but that I would say in the next 1 year they would go out of market. To talk about lithium ion, I would say lithium ion still has another 5 to 6 years, maybe even 10 years to go. But there are other chemistries that are actually taking over all of this. For example, lithium phosphate battery packs. They are more reliable. They are a little costlier right now. The entire technology is a little costlier, but they are more reliable. The charging cycles that people are getting, because of which the warranties that the company can claim, they are much higher than lithium ion battery packs. So I would say it's like twice than the lithium ion battery packs. The life cycle of the battery pack increases. The cost of ownership for the customer across the end of life of the battery pack as well as the vehicle. It would reduce drastically by switching to lithium phosphate battery packs. There has been news that humongous size conglomerates, like to name a few, like Reliance is getting into sodium ion battery packs as well. They have already, I would say, acquired a couple of companies in the foreign land which are working on sodium ion battery packs. I would say sodium ion cells are not far from today. In the next, I think, 2 to 3 years, we might see when this technology finds good amount of commercialization to offload in the ecosystem. Even we might see sodium ion battery packs, but lithium phosphate, I believe, would go a long way. There are other chemistries as well, like the lithium titanate battery packs as well. So, but they are not, commercially viable right now. Maybe in a couple of years down the line, when there's, a major breakthrough in the technology, this LTO chemistry will also come in the picture. But lithium phosphate, I think, would take over lithium ion in future.
Uh, can you tell us about the technological advancements which you have adopted in your manufacturing processes, or how sustainable are your operations?
Okay. So right now, to start with, we actually are starting the production from next month. And we don't want to go all guns blazing. We want to ensure that whatever processes that we are putting in place in our assembly line as well, they are sustainable and they are scalable, and they are even cost effective. So the first batch that we'll be doing will be a small batch of around 150 to 200 vehicles for the first month. That will be the month of April. And once we and even this batch will be split down into 8 to 10 different batches again, considering and finding the optimum way of running an assembly line. And right now we haven't invested like a lot in the assembly line. We have invested sizable amount of money that will ensure that we have and that can cater to around I would say 1500 to 2000 vehicles a month right now. That will help us somewhere around offloading 25,000, 30,000 vehicles annually. But we have good amount of capacity where we will scale up, and once we are confident and once we have found out that optimum way of assembling the vehicle in the minimum time with minimum resources, we will have an fully automated uh, assembly line, and which I believe we would be investing much more. I would say 10 times of what we have invested right now in the near future, somewhere around 1.5 years down the line. Right now, the first year we want to ensure that we, uh, you know, don't, don't take a bite more than we can chew as a company, as a startup. So we want to ensure that we build a sustainable and a long-term business out of this. So first year, we would be working at a very humble level. And then once we are pretty confident, then we will invest in a lot of technology, industry 4.0, optimizing the entire assembly line, the entire operations. And then we might also shift to a bigger facility. Right now, we are working out of a 50,000 square feet facility. Later in the future, maybe 1.5 year down the line, we might shift to a much more bigger facility than that.
So, lastly, I would like to ask, what are your growth and challenge areas for the near future?
I did not get the question, sorry.
Your growth and challenge areas for the near future.
Okay, so growth and challenge areas, correct. To talk about the growth areas first, right now, in terms of scale up, as a company, like I mentioned, that we want to build a sustainable business out of this, and which is where we actually uh, split down the scale up plans. Even pan India, we have split it down to 4 phases. In the phase one, we are actually planning to offload to 4 states, which is Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, and Goa. Because Maharashtra being our home state, and all the other states either are pretty accessible to us, nearby to us in terms of operations and in terms of support, after sales support, or there's good amount of demand. For example, Karnataka, Bangalore specifically is a very big market for EVs. And apart from this, in phase two, so in phase one, we are looking at 15 to 20 cities. In phase two, we are looking at around 50 to 60 cities. In phase three, we'll be looking at 100 to 120 cities. And all these phases are spread across 6 months from each other. So 1.5 years down the line, we'll be majorly present pan India in terms of growth. And after 1.5 years, like I mentioned, we'll also be looking at foreign expansions, as in the African market, the European market. And to talk about the challenge areas in this, I would say attracting good talent would be a challenge. It has always been a challenge for all the startups, and retaining that talent is a major task. So how I see job of founders, apart from growth of the company, our part-time jobs are also to be the full-time HRs. So for a founder, it is really tough, and it is like a task for us to ensure that whatever bright minds that we are getting from the industry, they gel together and they work together as a team. And this is like a full-time activity that a founder has to do. Another challenge in terms of scale up would be the vendor support, because being a startup, at the initial level, vendors are definitely a little cautious to work with us. They are not pretty confident on us. They would want to probably test us out for a year or 2 years, and then probably the scale up plans that we are looking at, that is where even the vendors would support us. So that would be another challenge. Funding would, it's a never ending process for startups, so it would always come and go. There's definitely, I mean, considering the global phenomenon, the global recession type, um, uh, I would say activities and that are going on in the other countries, fundings have dried up, but I would say it is not completely out of the game. So fundings are definitely there. The only thing is growth stage companies are struggling because their path to profitability is not pretty clear. If the path to profitability is clear, there's definitely funding. So funding is always a challenge again, but it's a continuous process. So apart from this, providing services and ensuring that whatever vehicles that we are going to offload in the market, they are actually making a difference in someone's life. That would be one of the biggest challenge for us as a company, and we are pretty much focused. So that is like our ground zero. That's like our high priority task that us at Revamp are majorly focused on. So those would be the challenges.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you.